I want to share with you one of the most profound encounters in the entire Bible. It is the story of Jesus and the woman at the well. This story is found in John chapter 4, and it is not just a story about water. It is a story about identity. It is a story about rejection. It is a story about shame. It is a story about brokenness. And most importantly, it is a story of restoration. Now listen carefully. The Bible tells us that Jesus was traveling and he came to a city of Samaria called Sychar. And this is very important because in those days, Jews and Samaritans had no dealings with each other. They didn't mix, they didn't associate, they didn't share meals, they didn't share cups, they didn't share friendship. Most Jewish people would rather take a longer route than pass through Samaria. But the Bible says something powerful. Jesus must needs go through Samaria, meaning he went there on purpose. And that is the first lesson. Jesus goes where others avoid. People may avoid you. Society may label you. Your past may shame you. But Jesus does not avoid people. He goes to the very places others reject. Now the Bible says that Jesus came to a well, and he sat down there tired from his journey. And then a woman of Samaria came to draw water. Now here is something many people don't notice. She came at a strange time. Most women came early in the morning or later in the evening when it was cooler. But this woman came when the sun was hot. Why? Because her life had a reputation. Her story was complicated, and she didn't want to face people. And that is another lesson. Many people hide because of shame. There are people today who avoid crowds, avoid church, avoid family, avoid community, not because they hate people, but because they are tired of being judged. Now, when the woman came, Jesus looked at her and said something very simple: "Give me to drink." Now, that statement alone was shocking because a Jewish man was speaking to a Samaritan woman. And not only that, in that culture, men did not just speak publicly to women like that. But Jesus was not following culture, he was following purpose. And that is another lesson. Jesus breaks barriers to reach people. Jesus is not limited by tribe, not limited by race, not limited by status, not limited by background. He will cross every barrier just to reach one person. Now the woman replied, "How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria?" In other words, why are you talking to me? Why do you want anything from me? She was surprised, but she was also defensive. Because sometimes when you've been rejected too much, even kindness feels suspicious. And that is another lesson. A wounded heart struggles to accept love. Many people don't reject God because they hate God. They reject God because they don't believe he could truly love them. Now Jesus answered her with one of the deepest statements ever. He said, "If thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water." Now listen, the woman thought he was talking about physical water, but Jesus was talking about spiritual water. He was talking about the kind of water that heals the soul, the kind of water that restores the heart, the kind of water that gives peace. And that is another lesson. Many people are thirsty, but they don't know it. People chase money, they chase relationships, they chase pleasure, they chase success, but inside they are dry. Only Jesus can give living water. Now the conversation continued, and then Jesus did something that shocked the woman completely. He said, "Go, call thy husband, and come hither." And the woman replied, "I have no husband." And Jesus said, "Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband." Now pause. Jesus just revealed her life, her history,
her secrets, her pain. But listen carefully. Jesus did not reveal her past to destroy her. Jesus revealed her past to deliver her. And that is another lesson. Jesus confronts sin, but he does not condemn the sinner. This is where many people misunderstand Jesus. Jesus does not ignore sin, but he also does not throw stones. He speaks truth, and he offers grace. Now, immediately after Jesus revealed her past, the woman did something many people do. She changed the conversation. She said, "Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship." She switched the conversation from her personal life to religious arguments. And that is another lesson. When truth touches the heart, people often hide behind religion. Some people don't want transformation, so they argue church, they argue denomination, they argue tradition, they argue doctrine. But Jesus was not interested in debate. Jesus was interested in restoration. Now the woman said something very deep. She said, "I know that Messiah cometh, which is called Christ." And then Jesus replied with one of the most powerful revelations ever. Jesus said, "I that speak unto thee am he," meaning Jesus revealed himself to her, a Samaritan woman, a rejected woman, a woman with a broken past. And that is another lesson. Jesus reveals himself to the humble. The religious leaders were proud, but this woman was honest, and Jesus showed her who he was. Now watch what happened next. The Bible says the woman left her water pot, and she ran into the city, and she said, "Come, see a man which told me all things that ever I did. Is not this the Christ?" Now this is powerful. The same woman who came to the well hiding now became a public messenger. The same woman who avoided people now became a preacher. The same woman who felt ashamed now became bold. And that is another lesson. When Jesus restores you, your story becomes your message. Your past is not the end. Your past can become your testimony. So what does the woman at the well teach us? It teaches us that Jesus does not avoid broken people. It teaches us that Jesus crosses barriers to reach the rejected. It teaches us that Jesus offers living water to thirsty souls. It teaches us that Jesus speaks truth, but he speaks it with love. It teaches us that Jesus restores identity. It teaches us that Jesus turns shame into purpose. And it teaches us that Jesus turns sinners into witnesses. And most importantly, Jesus does not come to condemn you. He comes to restore you. So if you feel unworthy, if you feel judged, if you feel like your past disqualifies you, listen to me carefully. Jesus is still sitting at the well, and he is still calling people, not to shame them, but to save them. If this message blessed you, please don't just watch and go. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs hope. And in the comments section, write this simple declaration: "Lord, give me living water." God bless you.